Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining. My name is Kimber. I am the program manager in Colorado Springs. Before we get started, I wanted to mention the CubeFit Trivia Mania. This starts on Monday. I can't believe it's already January 22nd. So Monday, all you have to do is participate in the CubeFit classes. So you're already ahead of the game. You're already doing that. At the end of class, starting Monday, we'll give a trivia question. You will keep track of the ones you get right, and then you will submit your points at the end to for a chance to win some home gym equipment. So that is a pretty fun one, an easy one to participate in, so you don't want to miss it. If you just hopped on and did not see the chat, all you need is a mat and some weights today. I would suggest a pair of medium weights if you only have one pair. But then if you have options, light to heavy is a great thing because we're going to do full body today. So we are going to start with a big lunge stretch to open up our hips and our spine. So I want you in a staggered stance here. Our back leg, I'm going to start with my right leg back. I'm going to lunge into my left leg. And in this position, you might already feel that stretch in the front of your right hip. From there, I want you to engage the core and think about tucking your tailbone under. There's not going to be a lot of movement because your leg is back, but that should increase the stretch there. Once you have that position, we're keeping our core engaged, starting to warm up that core. And then we're going to lift our right hand towards the ceiling. From there, I want you to slowly lean to the left and then come back up on the exhale. So on your inhale, you're going to lean over to the left, and on your exhale, you're going to come up center. So I'll show you from the front view now. My core is engaged, my right arm is up, and then I'm going to lean over. It's not going to be a big movement, especially if you have tight hips like me, because you're keeping that core engaged and coming up. So you're starting to work your obliques, which are your side abdominal muscles. Coming up and over, just two more here. You might feel this one down the whole right side of your body if you're stiff enough like I am this morning. Go ahead and rest and we'll switch sides. So your left leg is going to go back. Remember that staggered stance. So not like you're on a tightrope, but like you're on two parallel train tracks. Tuck that tailbone under. Feel that stretch in the front of the left hip. Left arm goes up, and then you'll slowly lean and come up. Notice how my hips don't move. So my hip doesn't go out to the side. My core is engaged, and I'm just leaning and coming up. Good. Slow and steady. 3 more here. This is one of my favorite stretches. I could probably do this all day long and still need it at the end of the day. Last one here. Come up, lower that arm. Go ahead and make your way to the back of your mat. We're going to lower down and walk it out on our mats. Take your time. You're meeting me on all fours, so you can set those knees down. Your knees are going to be underneath your hips, your shoulders over your wrists. From there, I want you to take your right arm. You're going to reach it up towards the sky. Again, our hips stay right where they are. And then you're going to thread the needle. Reach it under like you're wrapping your arm around yourself. And then open up. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. Lower down. Pull the shoulder blades apart. And then exhale. Open up. Pull them together. Our shoulder blades should be able to glide on our rib cage. So that's what this stretch is doing, is kind of warming that up as well as starting to activate the muscles around the shoulders. Open, open, open. Good. Right hand comes to the mat and we'll switch sides. So left arm now goes up towards the sky and then wrap it through. Reach, reach, reach. Exhale, open it up, pull the shoulder blades together and wrap it through. Good. Warming up that breath with the movement. Taking it slow. Last one. Reach. Left hand comes to the mat. Right arm is going to extend with the left leg. So opposite arm, opposite leg. Take it down and switch. Left arm, right leg. To modify this, you're just going to do the legs. So extend the leg out, bring it down, or include that hand. Your goal here is to keep hips and shoulders facing the mat and engage that core, keeping it engaged as you move. Eyes on the mat in front of you. I should be able to set your favorite drink on your back and not spill a drop. This is 3, 2, last one. Take it down. Go ahead and make your way to a stand. I knew I'd warm up quick, but I started so cold this morning. It's like 9 degrees outside, so I feel like it's warranted. All right, we are going to start with some suitcase squats. We've got 3 exercises. We're going 40 seconds on, 20 seconds off. It's going to be full body. So this is an exercise you can use your heavy weights for. You do not even need your mat. I'm just moving mine from the wall. So you're going to grab those medium to heavy weights, and we're actually going to hold them at our sides. That means this is going to be a more narrow squat. It's called a suitcase squat because it's like you're picking 2 suitcases up off the ground at the same time. So our feet are going to be between hip and shoulder width apart. You're going to screw your feet into the ground. Once you do that, you'll notice that everything starts to activate up your legs. Your arms are at your side, so our shoulders are rolled back and down. We're going to squat down, setting our suitcases down, and then stand right back up. When we stand up, our glutes are doing the work. So we're squatting, and then I'm squeezing my bum to come back up. My weights never leave my sides. They stay in the same place. They should be over the middle of my foot at the bottom. All right, that's our first exercise. We're going to get right to it, and then I will explain the second exercise as we go. Let me get the right timer up. 40 seconds of work, 20 seconds of rest. Find those weights and begin. Screw those feet in, lower down, take it up. We're focusing on quality today over quantity, especially if you have heavy weights. So these reps should be slow and controlled. Your foot should have full access or full grip on the ground the whole time. So your big toe, little toe, and heel have a connection to the ground. Our toes aren't lifting up, our heels aren't lifting up. We're going down and up and rest. Our next exercise is an overhead press. So this one you can go down in weights because we're going up overhead. You know what your spine can handle. So we're going to bring our weights up nice and safe. We're going to bring our elbows out. We're pressing up overhead and coming down. I'm going to move my camera so you can see that top of the movement. But if you have any injuries or discomfort in your spine, you're going to go light in these weights. So you're starting here, you're pressing up overhead and coming down. All right, go ahead and grab the weights you want to use and begin. Press it up, control it down. So in this movement, our cores are engaged, just like it was through the warm-up. And when I press up, I'm not arching back. So I'm keeping my body nice and straight, and the weights are right over the midline of my body. You can check that by seeing if your upper arm blocks your ear, or kind of hits your ear once it's at the top. Exhale as you press up. That'll help engage that core. Inhale as you lower. And rest. Go ahead and set those weights down. This next one, you're going to use your lighter weights because, and you only need one of them actually, because we're doing a core exercise. So we are going to be on our mats, and we're all going to start kneeling on both knees. I'm going to give you an option to progress, but we're all going to start together on both knees. You're going to take your weight, hold it from both ends, and you're going to circle it around your head Once you get back center, you're going to reverse it, taking it around the other way. Now, if you have a big ponytail in the back, just try to avoid it by not chicken pecking your head forward. This is more about shoulder mobility than it is about strength. That's why we're using our light weight, all right? So grab that weight. In 2, 1, you're circling around, coming center. So reversing as you go. We are working our shoulders here, but we are also working our core. So as we go around, I want you to check in and make sure your rib cage isn't going around with you. Your core is engaged, keeping everything stable. Your glutes are engaged, helping you balance. And you're bringing that weight around as far as you can, challenging the mobility of your shoulders. Last one here. And you're resting. All right, we're back to our squats, our suitcase squats. So now that you know what's coming for you, either go up or down in weight or stay the same. Remember, we're doing those slow, steady reps. Feet are narrow here and parallel. Screw those feet in and begin. Squat down, stand up. Keeping that core strong. Breathing as you go. Inhale down. As you exhale, use the power your breath gives you to pop back up. Those weights stay right at your side, so they're not coming forward because our chest isn't moving. Just like you're sitting in a chair. And your depth is going to look different than mine. It might be lower, it might be higher, just depends on your hip mobility. Let's get one more in here. And then we're resting. All right, you're setting up for your overhead press. Switch weights if you need to. I'm using like my medium weights this morning. I just got back from traveling, so I'm not ready for my heaviest yet. And go, press it up and lower it. At the top of this movement, you don't need to clink your weights together. You can keep them apart. It's actually harder on your core to keep them apart. So you're getting a little more core work there because your core has to stabilize them instead of the weights stabilizing each other. Remember, our shoulders aren't shrugging, so our shoulder blades are packed down so that our muscles are doing the work. We have less than 10 seconds. Stay with me. And rest. All right, we're on our mats. I'm going to give you the option to progress here. So if you want to stick with that kneeling, that double kneeling, that's fine. If you want to progress, just going to get harder for your core, nothing else. So you're going to come into a staggered stance. The closer your front foot is to your back knee, the harder it's going to be. So in this position, you're here, you're going to come around, and you'll notice that balance challenge right away. All right. So I'm going to do the progression, but remember, you can always stick with the double kneeling. Go ahead and begin. So if you're half kneeling with me, you're having to use your glutes as well as your core, but all the same rules apply. So your back isn't arching, your rib cage isn't moving. You're just making this, you're giving your body less stability, giving it more of a stability challenge. Good work. Breathe as you go. Try to get that weight as full of a circle as you can without compensating, without shoulder shrugging or rib cage moving. And rest. Set that weight down. We're back to the top. We have one more time through this. So we're starting with those suitcase squats. If you can, go up and wait on this last round. We have 5 seconds left. Set those feet, pick up those weights, screw your feet in, and go. Set the suitcases down, stand up. Squeeze those buns to come up. And when we stand, our glutes are engaged, but they're not so engaged that we have to lean forward. So we're coming up to a perfectly neutral position. Breathing as we go. Inhale down. Exhale up. We have 10 seconds. These are your last squats of your Friday. And rest. All right, we're setting up for our overhead press. I'm not going to move my camera this time, since you guys know what you're doing. We have 10 seconds left of rest. We're going to set our feet. We're going to rack our weights safely. Bring those elbows out and begin. Press overhead and take it down. So on this last set, as we fatigue, you can use your legs to do a little push press. So if your arms are feeling like I can't push this weight anymore, you can do a little squat to use the power from your legs to press that weight. Only if you need to, only if you're feeling like I can't press anymore. Try with those legs. Use a little extra power there. We have less than 10 seconds. Try to get 2 more reps in. Last one. And we're resting. All right, taking it down to your mat. If you did the half kneeling with me, we're going to put our right foot forward now, or the opposite foot if you weren't the same as me. Remember, the closer that foot gets to your back knee, the harder it's going to be. So you're thinking about a tightrope now. And begin. Coming around. There's always one side that's extra hard. And this one's it for me. Keeping those shoulders packed, whether you're single kneeling or double kneeling. Glutes are engaged. So your buns are squeezed. Your core is pulled in. And we're breathing. Getting that mobility in the shoulders. You've got it. Less than 10. Stay with it. And rest. All right, we're not quite done yet. You guys can grab a little bit of water, but then we're going to do a little challenge. It's going to be a burpee challenge, but don't let that scare you. It's not going to be very scary. I'm going to give you all the options for burpees, but the first option is to use heavy weights. So keep your heavy weights close. We are going to incorporate all the movements we did into these burpees. So we're starting here at the top of our mat with our weights. We're going to do a suitcase squat. So our feet are narrow. We're going to squat down, set our weights, and step back into our plank. You can add a push-up here if you would like. That's up to you. Then you're going to step in back to that suitcase narrow squat. So you set your butt back, stand up. We're going to curl and press, take it down, and repeat. So the option to not use any weights is there, but you're still going to suitcase squat, plant your hands, step it back. You can set your knees, skip the push-up, step it in, find that squat, and then either jump up or just put your arms up. All right? We are going for 2 minutes. So you're going to get as many as you can in for 2 minutes, and then you're done with your Friday workout. All right? So grab those weights. You're holding them at your side just like those squats. In 3, 2, 1. At your own pace, squat down, step back. Add that push-up if you want. Step in, find that squat. Come up, curl, narrow press. Take it down and repeat. You can always jump it back if you want that extra challenge. Jump it in if you'd like, but find that squat every time before you come up. Take your time here. Go faster or slower than me. You don't need to be with me to do it. As those push-ups get harder, if you're doing them with me, go to your knees or skip them. Take it down, step it back. We're 1 minute in. We only have 1 minute to go. You've got it. Just keep moving. Modify where you need. These are meant to be slow, controlled burpees, not fast ones. Still with the idea of quality over quantity. You're almost there. We have less than 30 seconds. Stay with me. These are your last 30 seconds of work. You've got it. Ten seconds. Keep breathing. Try to give you at least one more rep in. And rest. Woo! Good work. Go ahead and stand up if you're like me and ended in that push-up. Stand up. Start tapping your feet side to side. I took you right to the end of class. If you need to jump, feel free. If not, I'm going to let us cool down a little bit so you can stay on if you have the time. Side step back and forth. Let that heart rate come down. Inhale those arms up, overhead. Exhale, bring them down. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bring them down. One more here. Go ahead and stop those feet. Grab your opposite arm, reach up and over. Side body stretch. A little deeper than we started with. Inhale up, switch sides. Take it up. Lower those arms. Give yourselves a hand. Thank you so much for joining me this Friday. I hope you guys have a great weekend, and we will see you back here next week.